Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of On Point EDC. Today we have a really cool pen for you guys from a brand new brand that I just found out about called TISUR. Now, a little bit about them. They're an upstart EDC-oriented brand specializing in milled TI goods, as in titanium. Of course, some key common characteristics and design language for something like this, I would categorize it as a custom EDC pen. Although not handcrafted, it's still custom compared to your typical everyday pen. Now, some common characteristics design language, of course, you're going to have that unique design language, some type of fun, fidgetable actuation, and then premium materials and construction, which this hits all of those marks. But they're able to, of course, get the cost down by doing the production overseas. Now, this is actually known as their titanium tactical bolt action pen. Of course, it does have a bolt action actuation, which is great. It also has a built-in fidget spinner, a glass breaker tip, and is equipped with the Schmidt EasyFlow 9000 refill, which is absolutely outstanding. These are going for $59.90 on Amazon, so about 60 bucks. Full titanium construction, you're getting that glass breaker and a built-in fidget spinner, and I think the form factor is actually quite good looking. Typically when you get those kind of multi-purpose, multi-tool, multi-functional pens, it can be a little overwhelming and a bit gimmicky, but here this is actually like a cool, clean design. So I'm really looking forward to sharing this one with you guys. There's links in the description for how you guys can find this. Of course, it's on Amazon, so I'll leave that link there. But let's go ahead and zoom out, get this piece in hand, and take a closer look. All right, now before we get this piece in hand, really quick wristwatch check. This is the new for 2020 Prospex Baby Alpinist, or just Alpinist, or just SPB 159. I do have it on the Uncle Seiko Tropic style rubber strap, which I think is outstanding. If you haven't seen the video, definitely check the channel because the full video review is posted. I also did do a bit of a live stream, kind of off the cuff, more off the cuff than usual, even to kind of go over this one and my initial thoughts. So between those two videos and a little bit of seeing it flop around on my wrist here while I showcase this pen, I think you guys should get a pretty good idea of this thing. But yeah, now I'm digging it, and that's what's on my wrist right now. You're gonna have to pry this thing off because it's that good. Now to the main event here, guys. Again, titanium, fully milled. Look at that pocket clip. Look at the contouring there. Beautifully done. There's even a little gap there that you can actually get a tritium tube in if you want. And it has this kind of bamboo look. It has, of course, that great fidgetable deployment there. You're going to be using that bolt action, which is a lot of fun. But here's where they really get exciting, guys. Come on! I mean, there might be somebody else who invented this, but this is my first experience with it, and for me, as being somebody that is a clicker kind of guy, that likes to fidget with stuff, obviously something like this is just outstanding. And then of course you do get a nice little bit of function there because you do have also a little glass breaker. So if you have this with you, and let's say you're in a car, it goes into a river or something, and you need to get out, glass breakers there, that's great. But maybe while you're waiting for the EMTs to come get you, you can be fidgeting with this bad boy. That's almost like the selling point for me. I'm having way too much fun with this. This is like a nightmare if you're a teacher and some kid brings this into your class. But if you're at work and that 2 o'clock drag hits you after, your stomach starts settling after lunch, and you need something to kind of keep your brain alive, this right here, I can't tell you how much fun I've had with this. So that's the crazy thing is, even if it didn't have any of that, and it was just a bolt action pen, I'd be really impressed with the milling work, right, on this beautiful pocket clip, the milling work on this kind of bamboo style handle, and then the fact that it comes, of course, with a Schmidt EasyFlow 9000, which is kind of my refill of choice. And it's nicely done. I mean, it doesn't feel super weighty or heavy. There's a lot of milling that's gone, you know, into this. So it's not one where you're gonna be able to, you pick it up and it's this big heavy piece. Some people are into that, but for those of you that aren't and might feel that maybe some of the pens I've reviewed on this channel previously are just a bit large, oh, excuse me, sorry about that, are a little bit large or just bulbous and really just kind of not necessarily ergonomic or usable in an everyday situation, I have to say this, the exact opposite. This thing, if they would have made this thing in plastic, it would be a fun, really nice fitting in your hand. Even if it had just a traditional click or something like that, there's just so many things that this pen would have been great at without all the other bonuses, right? Like if this thing was just like made out of aluminum or plastic with just these contours, it'd still be good. If it was just, you know, if it was just the titanium without the fidget factor, it would still be good. But the way it kind of brings everything together, I guess I've never even tried this, but if I hold it from up here, I can even spin it the other way. What? Now I'm just finding new ways to entertain myself and maybe even some of you out in YouTube viewer land. So don't judge me, damn it, because this thing is, it's a lot of fun. And I gotta say, I'm surprised by this quality for the price. Again, I'm used to kind of those $100 and up you know, titanium pens that you buy from these great makers, and they're great, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to be able to buy something that's, you know, under $100, really just a hair under $60, right? You can get it on Amazon. It's delivered to you in 2 days. It has the same refill that you're going to get in most of those really high-end pens. It's also made out of the same material in most of those high-end pens, and it has many of the same attributes of many of those high-end, more custom crafted pens. But here it's kind of a more mass-produced, really cool, I think just well-balanced piece. I don't know, am I crazy? Let me know in the comments below. Like, do you see this and think it's just this big gaudy thing? Because for me, somehow, I think it's really well balanced. And I think, you know, it does look like something of an enthusiast design, right? Like, I don't think anybody's going to accidentally buy this pen. Like, they're just going to go on Amazon, search pens, and then grab this because they need a simple writing utensil. But for those of you that are looking for that milled titanium experience, right? The contours, the color, that beautiful, you know, fine blasted finish there, the nice little machining on this little bolt action, you know, I know not everybody wants to spend $100 or more on a bolt action pen, right? And they're like, hey, well, what can I get closer to my price range? And yeah, this isn't too bad. I mean, I think typically, $30 is probably around the most people who are non-pen enthusiasts will spend on a pen if they think it's good. So this is about double that, but not quite, of course, into that 3 figures when you're looking at stuff that's $100 and up. And fidget action. Let me actually get it close to the microphone. That is fun. Hopefully I don't break my lens. But yeah, no, I'm getting a kick out of this one, guys. All right, I know that it did go, the stats and whatnot went across the screen in the beginning of the video. But for those of you that completely overlooked that because you were just so excited to jump in, the length on this is 5.4 inches, and the thickness is 11.5 millimeters, and the weight is 0.93 ounces, so just under an ounce. Very nice in-hand ergonomics, very light but balanced, you know. Have a very easy bolt action, even for a left-hand guy like me. I can still get down with it, although they're not typically designed for me. I can still totally do it. And that's why I wear my watch on my right wrist, because I'm left-handed. But for those of you that would be using this hand, it's definitely more designed for you and still fidgetable, either hand. Still gonna be able to get down with that. Get in. You just have to get used to cycling your hand a little bit. So you're gonna get a little bit of dexterity from fidgeting with this, and kind of, if you're a lefty anyway, you're gonna have that extra little roll you have to do, versus here in your right hand, it's gonna be pretty much click and go, and you can rest it in and get your writing going, get your writing on. So very nice in hand, very light. Again, it feels very solid, but it's far from heavy. The bolt action is quite easy. There's not a ton of like detent pressure on it, so it's gonna feel quite smooth. But for those of you that like really want something you gotta force in, this isn't gonna be it. This is definitely on the smoother side, but definitely never gonna misfire. It's not like you're gonna put it in anywhere and it's just gonna slime its way back. As long as it doesn't get caught along the way, this thing is pretty much going to rocket and fire every time. It's not going to give you that super satisfying, you know, over tension or torqued thud that you might be looking for. But if you're looking for something smooth, balanced, this definitely is it, and it feels quite good. So you know the machining inside internally is quite good as well. In pocket, you know, it's compact. It has that kind of lighter feel versus, again, compared to some of the more bulky options, although it still does give you nice purchase and nice in-hand presence, right? So it doesn't feel like some really skinny, you know, refined, kind of frivolous, weak little pen. It feels beefy, but it's not super heavy feeling, and that is because it's titanium, but it's been milled a little bit thinner. There's some pockets taken out, you know, here and there, so it's a way of getting it thin, you know, internally, but keeping it thick externally, which I definitely dig. This is also available in anodized blue as far as other model variants go. Guys, bottom line on this one, this is definitely a more affordable option compared to your typical $100 custom titanium EDC pen, but it doesn't feel like it's cutting any corners, which is that's the interesting thing for me, right? Is it as good as those $100 pens? You know, in measurable ways, no, it's not as good. It's definitely not better. But you know, when you just get down to, you know, somebody who's just going to use this thing and just say, hey, it's an EDC pen, I don't have to worry about. This is not going to be a family heirloom by any means, but it's definitely a huge leaps and bounds ahead of your typical cheap little Amazon fidgety pen. Like, this thing is actually really, one, it's fidgetable in different ways. And yeah, I'm just digging it, man. I'm really surprised that they're able to do this at this price point and have such a handsome design, really, with the milling here, the bamboo kind of aesthetic. I'm digging it. I think it really is quite good looking and a lot of fun. You can even fidget with it backwards. I just invented that. If somebody else has one of these and you already thought of this, let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure I'm taking credit for that one. This is the average bro spin. This is all you basic fools. That's what you're doing, but this is what I invented, so take that, internet. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do hit like, and if you haven't already, do subscribe for more content just like this. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is this thing over the top? Is it too plain? Because there is also an anodized blue version. Again, this it feels a bit thinner, but again, it feels also like you get a lot of purchase on it. It's meaty and feels a bit beefy, but definitely very solid. So I don't know, it does something to me a little bit. It kind of reminds me in terms of this new Prospex Alpinist. It just does something weird. Like, it brings little elements together in a way that kind of draw me in. So with that said, guys, what are your thoughts? If you like the video, again, just like it. It helps. Subscribe. I mean, even if you're not going to click on, no, don't subscribe if you're not going to click on the videos, but you know, but just subscribe. It'd be pretty cool. I'm trying to get to 20,000 in 2020. I'm at like 19K. The next 1,000 people, you're gonna be part of something big, kind of a big deal. All right, guys, enough of me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Later.